My memory of the flood of 1985, it was just raining, and I never thought anything about it. I mean, it was pouring, and I lived down in Goodview, so didn't have any problem with flooding down there. And then I had my appointment, Downtown Roanoke, at an OB appointment, because I was 3 months pregnant. And it was still just pouring rain. So I waited a while to get in to see the doctor, and when I was getting ready to leave, the roads were flooded. I couldn't even hardly get out the door. It was so flooding. So, of course, there's no cell phones back then. So I go in, I use the phone, I call my dad, and he goes, "Oh, it can't be that bad." I go, "Huh?" I said, "It really is, Dad." And he goes, "Well, I'm on my way." I go, "I don't know if you can get here." And he goes, "I can get there." He had this ginormous lifted truck, you know, so hard to get in and out of, but he goes, "I can get there." And it took him a while, but he did get there, and he picked me up right in front of the door. I got soaking wet. He had to help me up in the truck, and when we left, you know, in front of the door there, and so we're trying to figure out in which way would be safer. The roads were still flooded. It was very scary. But he found a road, and we got onto 581, and we saw all the flooding. You could see flooding on both sides. Downtown Roanoke was just covered, and cars floating away. And the same with, you know, near the hospital. And it was scary, so we drove up 581, and we somehow ended up on Plantation Road. It wasn't flooding there, and we went to a place where we used to live when I was young, and that was all flooded. It was near a creek. So then we tried to get back to his shop, because he works and had a shop in Roanoke. And so we get there finally, because we couldn't get home because we were flooded on both sides to get back home to Goodview. And my sister, who was also pregnant, was home alone. So that was upsetting. So I stayed on the phone with her from there, and she goes, "Well, when are you getting home?" I go, "I don't know." So he had snacks and stuff, so we just stayed there until the rain eased up, and then some people would stop by and said that the waters had drawn back some. So we tried to get home at that point. We could not get through on the Dale Avenue side to Aventon. It was flooded, the bridge was washed out. So we met back up and tried to come up the Gus Nix side. Well, it was still flooded on that side near the school. And we drove all the way to Moneta and came back to Goodview the back way. And so we didn't get home until probably 10 o'clock that night. It was a long day, it was a scary day. And I never knew that just going to a doctor's appointment, something like that could happen. I hope it never happens again for anyone. But like I said, I was very thankful that my dad came and got me. But driving back through all the damage and seeing what happened and seeing people who lost their homes, it was awful. It was so bad.